Ethereum's deflationary tokenomics could be the thing that makes it surpass Bitcoin, which doesn't get spoken about nearly enough. There is quite a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to burn mechanisms and deflationary tokens. Tokens like Ethereum are deflationary, and there are some tokens which are inflationary, which means more tokens get minted over time. Usually when people refer to a deflationary cryptocurrency or token, they're referring to a token which has some inbuilt mechanism which sends tokens, usually like a percentage of a transaction, to a burn address. Now this is a wallet address that tokens get sent to which are inaccessible. Nobody owns that wallet. For example, if you send your Ethereum to 0x000 dead, the Ethereum that you have sent has gone forever. There is no way that Ethereum is going to be put back in circulation or traded again because no individual owns that wallet. You have burned those tokens. Now this is an important thing in deflationary tokens and critical to understanding the cryptocurrency market. Some tokens are inflationary, where it's the opposite of that, kind of like the US dollar. Some cryptocurrencies have a higher inflation rate than the US dollar. On the other hand, deflationary tokens like Ethereum burn some Ethereum per transaction. And if you want to see the potential upside of a deflationary cryptocurrency, all you have to do is look at the opposite, which is the US dollar, and see how that has affected the price per dollar over time. According to this chart, by 2019 standards, $1 was worth about $100 in 1913. So all of this new supply, this inflationary pressure, has basically collapsed the value of the dollar by like over 99%. This is pre-CV inflation, so it's even more extreme than this chart would suggest. So what happens if we have the opposite? Well, quite simply, all things being equal, the price will logically increase. The interesting thing with Ethereum is that it's doing just that, albeit not as extreme a rate as the US dollar. With a market cap of about 220 billion, there is actually $5.4 billion worth of Ethereum that has been burned. And this happens every transaction. Each time there is a transaction of Ethereum, more and more gets burned. As it stands today, about $4,000 worth of Ethereum gets burned every minute. Now think about that, every minute. We're in a bear market right now, so volume is going to be low. 2.26 Ethereum, as of this recording, gets burned every minute. What does that mean in the future? Well, if we can go by what happened to the US dollar, the price is going to go up. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be enough to overtake Bitcoin next bull run. There's a small chance, but probably not likely. Deflationary or inflationary pressure takes quite a long time to realize. As you can see with like the US dollar, right? Like if you're going by like the first 10 years, $1 was worth $100 back in 1913, and in 1923 it was about $60 worth. That's quite a substantial difference, but it's not like the full picture. The more and more time you give to inflationary or deflationary supply, you can see that the change is immense, and it takes quite a bit of time to realize. So unless something like drastically changes, I think eventually Ethereum might overtake Bitcoin's market cap, just because of this burn rate being realized over a long period of time. And you know, I got into Ethereum at about $200. Yeah, like I do actually believe next bull run we'll see a 10k plus Ethereum. I thought that would happen last bull run, but not so much. If we're all being completely honest, we don't quite know the true value of deflationary cryptocurrencies. Like, we don't really know what it's going to look like over the long term. And judging by this, about 2.5% roughly of Ethereum has been burned already. You know, give that a few more years, give that a decade, what's that going to look like? That's going to be even more supply burned, will drive up the price floor. Now, as you guys may know, I am the founder of Boss Token and Boss Track, and I purposefully made this token to be hyper deflationary. So we have Ethereum, which is just deflationary, but Boss Token, the crypto that I invented, is hyper deflationary. In fact, over 11% of Boss Token's circulating supply has been burned since launch. And Boss Token is just over a year old. So think about that, 11% of the circulating supply has been burned. And it's been like a year. So what I've done with Boss Token is essentially what Ethereum is doing, but to the extreme. I truthfully don't know what Boss Token is going to look like in the long term. What I do know is that the mathematics of it means that it's just going to get more and more scarce year after year. And that is because 5% gets redistributed to holders, including the burn address, which is over half of the supply. So what that means is about 2.8% of each transaction that is made with Boss Token gets burned, like it's gone. And this actually increases over time. As the burn address gets larger and larger, it will burn even more with each transaction. It's essentially like a black hole. Like the more mass that is in the black hole, the bigger it gets, the more mass it sucks up. I don't know how long this is going to take to realize. That's in combination with its use case of unlocking premium features on Boss Track when I launch it. It's just going to have that much more positive price impact. Tokenomics actually takes quite a while to fully realize. Like, it takes a long time span. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with deflationary tokens and also Ethereum. You know, we could see Ethereum overtake Bitcoin someday. Maybe not even necessarily because there is that much money flowing into it, but money flowing out of it going into the burn address. That might be the thing that tips it over the edge over the long run. And, you know, people can poo-poo this idea, but I mean, just look at what happens in the reverse with inflationary currencies. It's a very clear trajectory. It's a downward trajectory on the value of that currency. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and sub for more.